All right, today we're diving deep, and I mean really deep, into one of the most chilling and just plain fascinating mysteries of our time. We're going to go from a sound that sparked fears of some kind of colossal sea monster to a truly stunning scientific discovery about the power of our very own planet. Let's get into it.
So this is the central question, right? Just try to wrap your head around that. A sound so unbelievably powerful that it can travel across an entire ocean. Back in 1997, that's exactly what scientists recorded. And for years, nobody had a clue what was making it.
So, let's set the scene. We got to go back to the late 90s, when a network of underwater listening stations picked up something seriously strange.
Okay, so the year is 1997. Hydrophones, which are basically just underwater microphones, run by NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, they detected this incredible sound. It was this ultra-low frequency, but it was also described as just deafeningly loud. And get this, its origin point? Near a place called Point Nemo, which is literally the most remote spot on planet Earth. You couldn't write a better setting for a mystery.
And this number, this is what really shows you the scale of the puzzle we're dealing with. 3,000 miles. That's about the distance from New York City all the way to London. For a sound to travel that far underwater, whatever made it had to be just staggeringly powerful. I mean, way louder than any animal we know of. So the big question became, what on earth could be that big?
Well, with a clear scientific answer nowhere in sight, you know what happens? Our imaginations did what they do best. They started filling in the blanks. And they filled them with monsters.
This was the question on literally everyone's mind. The sound did have a profile that was kind of sort of similar to a living thing, but the sheer volume was it was off the charts. Could something ancient and unbelievably massive still be lurking down there in the dark?
And oh boy, did the theories get wild. People were speculating about everything. Maybe a colossal, undiscovered type of squid or a whale. Or what about the return of the giant prehistoric shark, the megalodon? And because the sound came from near Point Nemo, some horror fans even started joking, or maybe not joking, that it was Cthulhu, H.P. Lovecraft's mythical monster. At that point, the mystery had officially crossed over into legend.
So you had this epic showdown in everyone's minds. On one side, you've got the thrilling, terrifying idea of a real-life sea monster, and on the other side, just a giant, frustrating question mark. For years, that's pretty much where this story was stuck. But all the while, science just kept on listening.
So, after all those years of speculation, we finally got an answer. And it turned out to be every bit as powerful as a monster, just in a completely different way.
And here it is. The answer wasn't biological at all. It was geological. The bloop was identified as an ice quake. Now, that's not an earthquake happening under the ice. It's the sound of the ice itself cracking and breaking apart on an almost unbelievable scale.
So how does that even work? Well, it all starts when a gigantic iceberg, we're talking sometimes the size of a small country, fractures and breaks away from an ice shelf in Antarctica. As that crack just rips through miles and miles of solid ice, it releases an incredible amount of energy, and that energy creates a massive low-frequency sound wave, and that's the wave that travels thousands of miles through the ocean to be picked up as the bloop.
To put it simply, that's what we were hearing. It wasn't the call of some monster from the deep. It was the sound of a continent literally in motion. The immense, groaning sound of our planet's ice transforming. It's a pretty humbling thought, isn't it?
So the mystery was solved, but the story doesn't just end there. Because understanding what the bloop really was gives it a whole new meaning, a whole new level of importance for us today.
So the main thing to take away is this. It wasn't a creature. It was ice. The bloop was the signature sound of a massive iceberg calving off of Antarctica. And more than anything, it's this powerful reminder of the raw, geological forces that are constantly shaping our world, happening completely unseen and unheard by most of us up here on the surface. And I think this quote just perfectly captures that shift in how we see it. The fear of some unknown creature lurking in the dark has been totally replaced by this feeling of awe. The bloop gave us a chance to hear the powerful, natural heartbeat of our world in a way we never had before. It really wasn't the voice of a monster. It was the voice of the Earth itself.
So we solved the bloop. But remember, it took years, and it was found purely by accident. It really makes you wonder, right? With over 80% of our ocean still completely unexplored, what other sounds, what other secrets are echoing down there in the abyss right now, just waiting for someone to listen?